Hello and welcome to another Shared News live stream from home. Today we're going to be talking all things royals because there are so many updates. But before we get into it, if you guys haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, ring the bell, do what's good so you can stay up to date with us at home. All right, so first things first. Personally, I am a huge fan of the royals. I love Meghan, I love Kate, I love everything about all of it. And I love to stay up to date on the drama. So obviously there are a lot of mixed feelings about Harry and Meghan and all of their choices. So just disclaimer, I love them both. Let's jump right into what's probably the biggest news right now, and that is they closed their Sussex royal Instagram account. So as of today, there will be no more posts on Sussex Royal. I don't know that it'll ever be fully deleted. I think that's sort of a TBD thing, but they're done posting. In their last post, let's see, they wrote to fans, "We knew this was coming." Oh, sorry, that's my notes. "We knew this was coming because they're no longer allowed to use the term royal." So Sussex Royal obviously was going to have to go. But they wrote to fans, quote, "While you may not see us here, the work continues. Thank you to this community for the support, the inspiration, and the shared commitment to the good in the world. We look forward to reconnecting with you soon. You've been great." So that was their final goodbye to fans on that Instagram account. Obviously, they're going to come back to social media in some way. We're going to get into our speculations on that a little bit later. But what I think is really interesting is their website is also going to have to be suspended. Everyone's focusing on their Instagram account, but their website is also going to have to be shut down. And that has been their sort of way to communicate with people in depth what they're going to do next. So once the website is either frozen in time or taken down, we'll sort of be at a standstill with where we can get reliable information from the two of them, aside from like statements from their official representatives, until they launch whatever is coming next. So moving on to what is coming next, if you've been seeing all sorts of rumors and reports that Harry and Meghan are in Los Angeles, I guess that's true. That seems to be sort of official news at this point. Harry and Meghan are living in LA. Where? We don't know. They haven't been spotted out, obviously, due to the pandemic, but they're hiding out somewhere in LA right now with Archie. Now, this is not a huge surprise considering Meghan is from Los Angeles. She's a California girl. She said 100 times that she loves California and will always have a special place in her heart for California. And her mother, who she's very close to, still lives in LA. So some people were very shocked by the move. I feel like when you have a baby, you want to be close to family, you want to be close to your mom. So I didn't find it to be that shocking. The question will be, do they adopt the LA lifestyle? That's sort of like what's up in the air. Will they be hiding out here, or will they really jump into the LA scene? President Trump tweeted that the U.S. would not be paying for their security, to which their office responded and said security costs are being personally covered by the couple, which they've been saying time and time again. So that's sort of what made it official in my eyes, that Harry and Meghan were definitely here. When the president is tweeting about their arrival, they're definitely living in LA. So what's next? What we know in terms of what's coming next for them, they're planning to launch a nonprofit organization for their charitable activities. This says in areas including youth empowerment, mental health, conservation, gender equality, and education. Now, these are all issues that Harry and Meghan have been very, very vocal and active in supporting since before Meghan was royal and once they became Sussex royal. So that seems like a very natural progression for the two of them. Harry is also going to continue to oversee the Invictus Games, which is that competition. It's sort of Olympic style. He founded it years ago for wounded troops, and that is still going to be happening as well. And Meghan, this was kind of crazy news at the time. If you remember, Meghan has been announced as a narrator for Elephant, which is a Disney nature documentary. So she has sort of shifted back into entertainment already. That was a big question. Will we ever see Meghan act again? This isn't necessarily acting, it's narrating, but it's definitely a step in that direction. And if you remember, she is donating her salary to the conservation charity. It is Elephants Without Borders. So she's not taking a paycheck on this, but she is sort of continuing her charity work through entertainment. So it'll be really, really interesting to see what comes next there. In terms of social media, they're clearly going to have to launch a new account for whatever this charitable organization is, right? Whatever I'm just going to call it the Meghan and Harry Foundation. Whatever that is, it's going to need a platform. It's going to need a place to update fans. It's obviously going to have a website, so it'll probably take over for their Sussex Royal site. But the big question is, will Meghan get a personal account again? She's such a trendsetter. She's such a fashion icon, whether you love her or hate her. Like, Meghan will wear something and it will sell out within the hour. So people are curious if she will start a new page where she'll basically live that influencer life. From everything I'm seeing and just my own personal gut, we're deeming that very unlikely. She's probably not going to start running a traditional influencer account or relaunching her fashion blog. But what she will probably do is have a very heavy hand in running the organization's account, in the same way that her and Harry posted personal messages to fans on Sussex Royal. Once they launch their charity account, they'll probably continue to spread the same kind of messages with the same kind of energy that they put behind Sussex Royal. Will they both live in Canada or just LA? So as of right now, Harry and Meghan are both in Los Angeles with Archie. In terms of if they'll go back and forth from Canada to LA, I have no idea. I don't think anybody does. They absolutely adore Canada. I think they will always have more privacy in Canada than they do in Los Angeles. This is pure speculation, but I would assume that they will probably be going back and forth once this pandemic is lifted and they have the freedom to travel and move about again. I would assume that they will be spending time in both Canada and Los Angeles, as well as the UK. They're not going to permanently never set foot in the UK again. So yeah, I think LA is probably a hot spot for them to launch their charity, their foundation. There's probably a lot of meetings with people that they're going to want to be taking in Los Angeles. So maybe Los Angeles is more for work and for family time with Meghan's family, and Canada is when they just need a break to hide out from it all. Again, that's just speculation, but would make sense to me. Someone says we welcome them. I think based on everything I'm seeing, people seem to be excited about having Meghan and Harry here. Overall, Americans, I think, have been a little more welcoming to Meghan in this new role. The press has been kinder here, so they might find a really, really happy balance between public life in terms of promoting their charity and private life here. Will they always have a security team? Yes, they will absolutely always need to have a security team. That's just the nature of who they are, even with stepping back from royal life and using the term royal. Everybody knows who Prince Harry is. Everybody knows Meghan Markle. I mean, if you think about it, Beyonce doesn't leave the house without a security team, right? So Harry and Meghan are celebrity and they still are connected to the royal family. I don't think we're going to see paparazzi photos of Meghan shopping at a Target in West Hollywood pop up anytime soon. She's always going to have security with them. They haven't addressed what that will look like. I don't think they will ever share very deep specifics on that, just honestly for their own safety. But again, they will be funding it themselves. Someone wrote that Meghan is inspirational. I agree. I think she is quite inspirational. I think that her story goes a lot deeper than a lot of people realize. Let's see, new question. Will Harry and Meghan make up and put their feud to rest? Here's the thing. Depending on what you read, pretty much everyone believes there is some sort of a feud. That word is thrown around no matter what. I believe that based on when you remove, like when you don't look at a really, really angry tabloid or you look at like a really reliable royals source, I think it's more tension than feud. I don't think if we sat down with William or Harry, either of them would say, oh, I hate my brother. I think that they're going in two different directions. They're family. They're always going to find their way back to each other. And publicly, they're both saying nothing but respectful words towards each other. So I believe that this feud will absolutely die out eventually. It's just going to take time. And Harry and Meghan obviously shook things up majorly by stepping back. And, you know, William and Kate have to take on some of their roles. It's this whole transition is going to be an interesting time. So I do think there's hope for these rumors of feuding and drama and all of that to be put to bed. Let's see. Who is being blamed the most for the rift? I think that overall, the blame seems to lie, I'm going to say evenly. I mean, you see things about Will and Kate not getting along with Harry and Meghan. You then see things about Harry and Meghan not getting along with them. For a long time, there was all this stuff about Kate versus Meghan, Meghan versus Kate. Honestly, I think that there is definitely truth to some of it, but overall, drama is just the most important thing to, or not important, the most interesting thing to read about. So, someone said, hi, welcome. Let's see, are there any other questions? Will Meghan and Kate become close one day? You know what? I already think that Meghan and Kate are close. I'm not friends personally with either of them, so I don't think there is any way for any of us to truly know that. But I do think that what's interesting about Meghan and Kate's relationship is there are very, very few people in the world who can relate to what either of them goes through on a regular basis, to the pressure that either of them have faced, to the, I would say, pressure of upholding what they're, supposed to represent. So I think that Meghan and Kate will always have an undeniable bond because they're kind of the only other person that can truly relate currently to what they're going through. So I believe that on a certain level, they're always going to be close. And I also don't like to buy into the fact that they don't like each other. I think that they're very, very different. If you think about it in normal human terms, do you have to be best friends with your sibling, significant other? No. Will you always probably respect them and be close to a degree because you're family? Yes. So that's my take on Kate and Meghan. Someone said, despite our president's negative comments, we should truly welcome. I agree. I think we should absolutely welcome them. Why would we, why not? Why not make them feel welcome? It's just cleaner and kinder. Do you anticipate they will have more children? I don't know. I think that it would be great if they want to have more children for them to have more children. The one thing I will say is Harry grew up in the public eye. There's absolutely no question that Archie is going to grow up in the public eye because of who his parents are and who his family is. So I think that Harry is probably very, very cautious in terms of having a child and throwing a child into a life in the public eye. So I think they will probably have another kid, but I don't think that they're going to rush into it. I think that they'll really think it through. But again, that is purely my own opinion. Let's see. What is your favorite video you've ever done? I would say any of the whiteboard videos that my co-hosts Renee and I did for the past season of The Bachelor. Those were really, really fun. Should the United States pay for their security? I think we should. What about you? Here's the thing. They don't want anyone to pay for their security. So I don't even think it's a question. They've been saying since day one that they want to be financially independent. So I just think everyone needs to respect what they want, and they want to be financially independent. So there you go. Will they share the baby? I do not expect that we will be seeing mommy blog style updates from Meghan about Archie ever. I think they're going to keep Archie as private as possible. He will always be related to the royal family. There will always be interest there. I think we will see just about as much as we see right now will probably be standard for as long as possible. All right, if you have any final questions, go ahead and send them to the chat right now. Let's see what we've got going on. Someone said, I missed the whiteboard breakdowns. We miss them too. One day when social distancing is over and we've got more Bachelor to talk about, I'm sure we will bring them back. Someone said, I hope they will be happy. Let's see, who said that? Alina, I hope I'm saying that right, said, I hope they will be happy. I hope so too. J Jobs, will they adopt children? I have no idea. That seems like something they would maybe do, but that's going to be a question for Harry and Meghan personally. For now, I think they're just focused on launching their charity. Mr. Makeshift, can we do whiteboard breakdown for topics in general? One day, I think we totally can. Right now, we're doing live from home, but really the only thing that the whiteboard breakdown is Renee and I standing in front of a whiteboard. So in theory, yes, we could talk about anything on there. Michael, I hope I'm saying that right. Do you think the Queen will ever accept Meghan? Publicly, the Queen has already and always been nothing but welcoming to Meghan. Privately, behind the scenes, there are so many questions, so much speculation about how she actually feels about her. One thing that I think is really telling, there was a statement where the Queen referred to Harry and Meghan as Harry and Meghan, which is how Harry and Meghan have always wanted to be referred. Like they don't, for years before all of this has happened, they don't look for a lot of like the pomp and circumstance of it all. So I think that that was a very subtle way that the Queen showed that she was respecting their decision. Everything the Queen does is very classy, it's very subtle. So I think that the Queen has accepted them and their choices. Obviously, I mean, here we all are. They're living in Los Angeles. So at some point, she gave them the green light. I do hope that the Queen behind the scenes has a friendly relationship with Meghan and that it's not as tense as some things will make you believe. Jerry Tokar Hines, I'm sorry, I'm butchering everyone's names. The Queen has bent over backwards to accept her. She should have realized what she was getting into based on previous coverage of the royal family. Yes, the Queen, I agree, has bent over backwards to accept her. And yes, I do think that to a degree, Harry and Meghan had to have known what they were getting into. They themselves say that they did know what to expect, but what they didn't expect was some of the things that they believe truly crossed the line. So they think that based on what their expectations were and what they were prepared for and what was normal and required of them in their roles, they think that those lines were crossed tremendously, especially by the media, and here we all are. So there you go. Just curious, I haven't been here before. What are your sources? We try to turn to everything and anything covering the royals. So we try to stay up to date on the most tabloid, dramatic rumors. That way we know what the crazy side of all of this is, what the rumors, what the sort of non-sourced side of the world is saying. And then we turn to all of the official British statements, especially ITV. ITV has a great direct line with the royals, and again, just any sort of reputable news sources, but we definitely try to look at the big picture. J Jobs says British press has been brutal on Meghan. Will the USA press ever turn on them too? That's to be determined. I mean, I think that depending on what they're doing, it will impact the coverage they receive, right? So whatever they do as their next steps, we're going to be covering it along with the British press. The US press has always been a little bit kinder overall. We just have a different setup here. So only time will tell. I have a feeling that the US will continue to be excited and more welcoming. Someone said, I'm so sorry, I will butcher your name, Sharn. I'm not going to continue to butcher it, but I see your question. I wonder what Harry will do now that he's not a royal anymore. Harry and Meghan are launching their charity soon, and they are basically creating that as a new full-time job. This charitable effort that they're going to be launching is what they're throwing themselves into, and that will be their work moving forward for the time being. Why does Piers Morgan hate Meghan? I never understood why. Listen, there is no understanding why one person hates another person. Yes, Piers has gotten fired up on the subject more than once. I think it's just a matter of personal opinion. Teresa says, I can see Meghan and Harry as actors, co-host their own talk show, etc. Who knows? I would absolutely tune into a Harry and Meghan talk show. Jerry says people have to understand that Europeans are completely different in their manner than Americans. Absolutely. Culturally, there are going to be huge differences from the opinion of them in the UK, the media treatment, all of that is just very different. Let's see. What jobs or jobs do you think Harry will have lined up, says Mikhail? I think that right now, like I said, it's going to be mainly the charity as well as the Invictus Games, which are very near and dear to Harry's heart. And he is going to continue to run. Okay, you guys, we're going to go ahead and end it there. Thank you so much for your questions. As all of this continues to develop, we will keep you posted whenever we first see Harry and Meghan surface in Los Angeles. I think that will really set the tone for what is to come. Like I said, for now, that is all I have to share with you. Please, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to Shared News, ring the bell so you don't miss out on any updates. And we will see you very soon for another Shared News live stream from home. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.